Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What if Goku was a mutant Saiyan? And before the video starts, I want to thank everybody for 18,000 subscribers, meaning we're only 2,000 away from our goal of 20,000, so make sure to subscribe and press the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this series, let's hit 300 likes. The original idea for this what if is what if Goku was a mutated Saiyan, having Frieza and Broly's potential. But that would make him far too OP for the what if, but I do want to create my own twist to this. He will be a mutated Saiyan for sure, but I wanted to save the original idea to honor it. So anyways, let's do this video at 300 likes, and I will continue on to the next part. On planet Vegeta, Bardock was running as fast as he could, being battle damaged from before and of his allies being destroyed. And this is right after he warned the Saiyans of Frieza arriving, but none of them listened to him. He was soon arriving at the chambers where his son, Goku, was in a pod with a strange liquid, as Bardock had something special. Earlier, when he was running away from the allies, he stole this from the royal chambers. It was a DNA codex. This tech holds all the generations of the Saiyan's DNA and abilities into one. King Vegeta was wishing to use this on his own son when he was grown, make him the strongest Saiyan in history. Having abilities as Saiyans have forgotten generations ago. As Bardock stumbled and arrived, seeing his son, he had a moment as he put his hand on his son the first time he truly saw him. He would then put the ancient codex into the system, as it would then turn into particles and fuse into the child's DNA itself, greatly increasing his abilities and unlocking special things that he never knew was possible. Bardock quickly prepares a space pod, as it was a few minutes from launch, as Ginyu was there, setting up the course for Earth. King Vegeta in this what if did not die on Frieza's ship. He would arrive seeing what Bardock has done, as Bardock would scowl at him, stating that no matter what, his son will live, and that the Saiyans have won. They cannot stop Frieza's wrath, but his son, he will become the universe's light and protector. He is the future. King Vegeta was furious, yelled at him that the codex was for his son, not some low-level trash child who can never control that kind of power. As King Vegeta would then charge in, Bardock would actually block his attack and gut punch the king into the wall. King Vegeta was shocked. How is a low-class level Saiyan able to even match his power? Bardock would then smirk as he would spill a bit of blood, as he states that he should never underestimate a Saiyan's power. As Bardock would begin powering up, King Vegeta's scouter would then beep, reading that his power level was over 11,000. As they would clash back and forth, Ginyu looks at the pod glass, and she had tears, as she smiled, telling her son to grow strong. The planet is rich and vibrant in resources, safe from the hands of Frieza. As Bardock had King Vegeta in a headlock, the space pod would then launch off, sending Goku far off into space. Now nearby, Frieza was soon arriving, as he would actually see the space pod, but he would then tell his men to leave it, as it has zero threat to him anyway. Bardock would then fly to space, and he would still challenge Frieza after killing King Vegeta, challenging Frieza head-on like the original timeline. But sadly, it would not be enough, and he would still be destroyed, alongside with planet Vegeta. Goku would still be found by Grandpa Gohan just like before, and he would still hit his head falling off of the cliff, but this actually wouldn't wound him, which shows how durable the baby was. Already, he was wild and more angry, as Goku never got the head injury, but over time, he would mellow down much more, be gentle and happy, having such a good father figure, such as Grandpa Gohan. Now during his training, he was actually able to fly, and his ki abilities were amazing, far beyond what Grandpa Gohan thought. At his age, he's already flying, which most cannot do. Goku was already very powerful. He was able to lift boulders with a finger, and he was able to leap great distances and fly across the planet at fast speeds. Once the full moon hit, like the original, Goku transformed into a great ape. This, like the original, was when Grandpa Gohan prepared to save his son. He would then begin attacking the great ape, charging a Kamehameha. Would then stop, as then the large ape would then talk, saying how cool this was, and that Goku had full control. This was in this timeline, Goku being a mutant, instantly he had full control over his Uzaru power. As he was very powerful, Grandpa Gohan sensed his power grew tenfold. As this changes the Dragon Ball timeline shortly, Grandpa Gohan never passed away in this timeline, giving him more time to train Goku, even teaching him techniques like the Kamehameha Wave, and telling him about his teachers such as Master Roshi. Now one summer, a young woman would arrive, as Goku here has more manners, and has a little bit better education. Not hitting his head, he is lighthearted, but he is more mature for his age, and not as goofy acting. Grandpa Gohan welcomed her for tea, as she explained that she was looking for the Dragon Balls, and Grandpa Gohan would agree to hand it over. But the others, from what he knows, are very dangerous. Maybe his son can come along, it'll be good for him to go on his own adventure as he's old enough, and help her. Bulma thinks it's a good idea, as Goku was able to pick up her car with just his hand, so maybe it's a good idea to have somebody like this as a bodyguard. By this point, they would still meet the turtle and Roshi, which Grandpa Gohan would even speak to Roshi himself, that if Roshi was ever interested to help his son grow stronger one day, Roshi would actually agree and grant Goku Nimbus, which he can ride on, and the 3-star Dragon Ball. They would then stop the terrible Oolong and anyone else in their path. Goku is a little more brutal and more serious. He gets his blood pumping if there was someone who looked strong. Goku was still a Saiyan after all. So pure-hearted, Saiyan. Goku was still hungry just like before when he was fighting Yamcha, but since Goku was much more powerful in this what if, Yamcha would actually not be able to knock him out. This would only irritate Goku. He would actually nearly kill Yamcha, as Yamcha either way would still survive and follow them just like before. Roshi would actually use the Kamehameha Wave to destroy the mountain to put out the fire, where they would find the 7-star Dragon Ball like the original. In this timeline, Pilaf could not trap all of them in, since Goku can control his grade 8 form, and in base form his strength and power is so high that he can easily get out with his strength alone. Since Goku and Krillin become Roshi's students, Goku has been far surpassing Krillin already, which would make Roshi have to kind of switch up his training a little bit for just Goku, as Goku was far stronger and faster than Krillin. Lifting rocks and boulders was easy for Goku, as one night he would even show off his grade 8 form. Roshi would need to increase the weight of the shells, even using massive boulders to help Goku train. Goku was also growing at a much faster rate than Roshi thought, as it was already stronger than Roshi by this point, as Roshi knows that he needs to keep up his training and actually stay in shape, as now he has a goal, as he wants to be strong enough to train his students. During the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku would easily blitz past any opponent in his way. Now Goku would actually have a good battle with Roshi, but Goku wasn't truly damaged, but Roshi was actually a lot more powerful because he's been training hard to grow stronger. And what really saved him was that Roshi knows how Goku fights, as he taught him himself. He has much more experience. But Goku would still win, and he would spend all of his money. This was when the Red Ribbon Army arrived, and Goku would easily defeat Colonial Silver and the Muscle Tower. Goku would not lose to General Blue, nor Mercenary Tao, but he would still fly to the top of Korn's Tower to train the other way by drinking the Ultra Divine Water, making him stronger. As this time Goku would make it more personal, as he knows that they are around the world and that the Red Ribbon Army is dangerous. He would then fly all around the planet, destroying the Red Ribbon Army, which he would actually kill Dr. Gero, but Red Ribbon Army officials would survive for their arc. Goku would never go into the Baba Battle Arena during the 22nd World Sports Tournament. For cutting forward, he would actually be able to defeat Tien Shinhan. Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine. Just like before, Demon King Piccolo would be overpowered by Goku. As Goku easily killed his children, Goku easily overpowers this old version of the Piccolo. Goku would then make a cocky choice. As he's saying, he would even allow Demon King Piccolo to wish for immortality. Say he would let him wish for his youth. As Roshi would then beg him not to do this, Goku would then shut him up. As then Demon King Piccolo was ready, now at full strength and with a young body. He would then punch Goku through the mountain, as each fist felt like a nuclear bomb hitting Goku. As the mountainside exploded, Demon King Piccolo flew into the air, charging a massive blast, as it turned the entire mountain range into dust and rubble. The Z-Fighters would then stare in shock, as Demon King Piccolo laughed, saying that what a fool he was for letting him get his younger body, as he has no chance against this version of Piccolo. Until Goku would then appear, making Demon King Piccolo laugh and then is stopped in his tracks. As Goku walks forward with a smirk, his clothes were damaged and he had some light scratches on him. His Saiyan blood was pumping more than he ever thanks Piccolo as one now different. This one really got his blood flowing. Goku's eyes was then yellow. As the great ape within him was wiling out within his body, he begins mutating. As Goku walks, he swells in size, being 2 feet taller, and his muscles swell in size as well as his hair rises more, his eyes glowing a yellowish color, and even his teeth getting sharper like the great ape. Tail was more wild and whipping around, power level spikes tenfold, as he would then charge in, gut punching Demon King Piccolo, making him spit blood. As it punched him so hard, the force blew a hole into his stomach. Demon King Piccolo, in his dying motive, would then spit an egg, begging him to make revenge. As Goku would then grab the back of his neck, he would then charge a ki blast and completely destroy Demon King Piccolo. The others then get into a fighting stance, as they don't know if this is really the same Goku anymore. He would then smile as his friends as she would then shrink back to normal, as he hasn't felt that alive in ages. He was kind of disappointed though. It was over, honestly, way before he wished it was. He wished he could have fought him way longer. And he doesn't know what that weird power was, but it felt really natural to him. Krillin was still revived, just like before. And other than this is when Kami would then make himself known and offer to train Goku. As this version, Kami never restored the moon, and since Goku has control, he never removed his tail. Alongside with Popo, they would then teach Goku their ways, and they would put him inside the hyperbolic time chamber. Once Goku walks into the gravity, it pulls him for a second, but he adapts near instantly thanks to his Saiyan genetics. Now, within him, he was able to spend the entire year within the hyperbolic time chamber. As remember, with how much more durable he is, he would actually be able to survive it. Now, as for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, this is where some changes are going to occur. As upon the Z-Fighters, Goku would arrive, happy to see his friends. As this time meeting Chi-Chi, Goku never promised to marry her like before, but she still wanted to as she does have feelings for him. As during their fight, she would ask Goku if he can be with her. Goku wouldn't mind it, if she can prove herself. As remember, Saiyans want strong females. Chi-Chi would give Goku all she has, as Goku would knock her off the ring. He thinks that she's strong, he's the strongest lady that he's ever fought before, but definitely her stubbornness and her pride definitely piques his interest. As he would actually agree to start going out with her and seeing her, he would then see Piccolo. The two meeting as Piccolo Jr. has been training hard to kill this mortal human. In his way, Goku would be easily dispatched, easily taking out Tien. As true, Tien is a very powerful warrior, but Goku's raw strength and speed alone, far too much for anybody. Goku easily able to overpower Tien and knock him out of the arena. Now with Goku going into the final round, Piccolo and Goku battle each other, both of them trading blows back and forth, as it seemed equal, as both were not moving one another. As Piccolo scoffed, he would then begin removing his weighted clothes as he charges in at Goku faster than before. He gives Goku powerful combos, slamming him into the ring, as Piccolo fired a massive beam, destroying most of the arena. Everybody was worried, as then Goku appeared from the rubble. Piccolo was a little damaged, as he made fun of Piccolo, telling him if that's all he really had, then he's just as weak as his father was. Piccolo was furious. Then Goku would begin powering up his base form, shocking Piccolo. At the rate it's rising, Goku easily overpowered Piccolo, as he would then fly in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Piccolo, knocking him out of the arena. But he didn't kill him, because if Kami dies, then the Dragon Balls would be gone as well. Afterwards, Goku would marry Chi-Chi over time, and they would still have their son Gohan in a similar time frame. Now, with Goku being a little more Saiyan-like mentally, he would be a little more strict on training Gohan with Chi-Chi, explaining that he needs to be strong, and he works out a deal with Chi-Chi, explaining that Gohan can do training with not studying as long as his grades are up, which Chi-Chi over time would then agree. Gohan would enjoy spending time with his father and not being shoved books in his face all day, as 5 years would then pass. Gohan was stuck on the log in the waterfall, but this time Gohan was actually able to jump and lay down. As Gohan here is actually pretty strong for his age, as Gohan already has a power level of 100, and he was only 5 years old. This is when Goku would then meet Gohan on Nimbus, and they would head over to Master Roshi's house. Now, once when they arrived, he would then introduce Gohan to his friends, as Bulma was excited to see this child. But then, far off, we now have Raditz. Raditz would still arrive on the planet just like before, searching for his brother. He knows something about the Codex was put inside of him, and that maybe he could be a strong asset for killing Frieza. But you have to make a reminder that Raditz doesn't really know all about it. He just knows that his father did something to him. This is when Raditz would then arrive at Master Roshi's house. Gohan, who was a little bit scared, but actually was a bit more brave. Goku would then hand off Gohan to his friends, and he would fight Raditz alone. Raditz would then explain who he is, and that Goku was a Saiyan, from a being of species that was pirates almost. They were conquerors who went around other planets and sold and traded them. He would then tell Goku that his mission was to completely destroy planet Earth so they can sell it for the highest bidder, and he would tell him to join him. Raditz would then tap his scour, seeing that Goku had a power level of 750, which is not too bad, but of course a lot weaker than him. This is when Goku would then tell Raditz that he would never do something like that, and he doesn't care who he is. Goku has not gotten the planet destroyed, so Goku would then give one warning to the planet or he will destroy him. Raditz would then laugh, as Raditz would then tell him that that's quite a sense of humor you got. As then both of the men would then fly off, they would begin their battle. As Raditz would then charge in, throwing a few blows at Goku, but Goku was easily able to catch his fist and he threw it across the ocean. Raditz, in anger, would then charge up and fire his double Sunday attack, as Goku would actually take the blast head on. He would then stand there, his top G having tears on it, but he wasn't damaged at all. He was smirking. Raditz was in shock. His power level was only 750. How was he able to survive that attack? Goku tells him that he can never destroy what he is, friend. Raditz would soon become a coward, which would actually make Goku feel a little bit less sympathy, as this man came to kill his friends. Then cowers like a roach? To a real fighter, this makes no sense to him. Goku gives him one chance to leave the planet, never returning. Raditz would then smirk, saying that there are two Saiyans 10 times what he is, now going to come to this world and destroy it. As Goku then gut punched Raditz, he would then instantly fall to the ground defeated. As in the hospital, in special locking mechanisms, Raditz was actually held down recovering. As Goku spared his life, Raditz would still warn him in more detail about the two Saiyans arriving, as they have about a year to train to defeat them. Goku would actually keep an eye on Raditz, who by this point has retired his old life, as he doesn't want to live like that no more. As then, Goku would then take Raditz in, and him and Raditz would actually grow stronger together as brothers, as then this time around, they would have 1 year to train. even using the likes of the hyperbolic time chamber to grow even stronger. Raditz would then be training alongside with Goku. Raditz would even find his own lady. He would then find Launch, who did have a nice session up to the end, but he always kept on avoiding her for so long that she kind of gave up searching for him. So Launch would actually get with Raditz, and then Raditz would actually live near Son Goku's home, as he doesn't really have much of a place to live, so he would actually stay where Grandpa Gohan lived. As Grandpa Gohan is still alive in this timeline, so he would actually give Raditz a place to stay. Now with them having a place to stay, Raditz would then continue to grow stronger, and he would change his ways, not being the same man like he used to. This is then after a year of training. Gohan as well has also grown a lot, as Goku takes it very seriously to make sure that his son is as strong as possible. Piccolo Jr. makes himself known, and Piccolo would then explain to Goku that they need to work together for once, as if they don't, these Saiyans will ruin his plan at War Nation. Goku would then agree, and him and Piccolo would kind of form a rival-like situation. Both of them training together, and even Piccolo fighting Raditz, Piccolo was actually able to grow stronger as well. This, far off in the city, Vegeta and Nappa have arrived. They would still destroy the city. As the Z Fighters arrive, Vegeta then scowled at Goku, as he knows about what happened. Nappa steps up first, as he battles Raditz, who was actually able to mash the large Saiyan, and he would actually overpower him. Vegeta was shocked, as Nappa was far stronger than Raditz was. How is it that within a year, he was able to grow this powerful? This is when Vegeta would actually make the Cybermen to attack the Z Fighters, as if they all jump him, that could be a bit of a problem. With Nappa's rage fueled, he would continue on attacking Raditz with everything that he has. Raditz would then smirk and dodge the attack, as he would then deliver a powerful gut punch to Nappa, kicking him away. As while Nappa and him might be similar like in strength, Raditz was still stronger, but Raditz had a very calm head on his shoulders, being taught by Goku and Piccolo. As Nappa was raged and he wasn't thinking right. This is when Nappa would then charge up a powerful mouth beam, throwing it right at Raditz, as Raditz would then grab it and deflect the attack, firing a double Sunday would actually kill Nappa, shooting through his stomach, killing him. This was when Vegeta would then scowl, as this irritated him. Raditz would actually try to attack Vegeta first, but Vegeta would then duck the attack and deliver a powerful gut punch. As Raditz was already tired fighting Nappa, he has no chance against him. Now the other Z fighters were still fighting the Cybermen just like before. Now this is when Vegeta would then look at Gohan with a smirk, as he would then state that what a young Saiyan and how strong he was, as he can sense Gohan's anger rising, as Gohan feels a close connection with Raditz, as that's his Uncle Raditz. Vegeta then knows that that's true, that half-breed Saiyans must get stronger. This is when Goku would then step into Vegeta and tell his friends all to leave the area, as him and Vegeta would then meet in the same spot as the original. Vegeta would then tell him that Saiyans are gauged at birth, but he was special. The entire Saiyan Codex was stolen, and it was put into his DNA by his father, giving him powers and abilities he could never imagine. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. But he's the prince of all Saiyans. No low-class trash can match his skill and speed and dedication. The two would then throw forward, throwing hands back and forth. Goku would then land a strong punch as Vegeta did the same. Vegeta would then throw a powerful ki blast at Goku, but Goku would then dodge the attack. He would then fly in, increasing his strength, gut punching him through the rock pillar, as it was a bloody fight. Both of them going back and forth. Vegeta would then note in anger that every single time that he hits him, it's not really damaging Goku that much. He holding back on him? This was when Vegeta would then wipe his mouth as he had blood on his fist. He would then be furious, as he would then fly in with everything he has, telling him how dare he make a super elite like him bleed. No low class can ever do this. He would then hit Goku right in the chin, as Goku slowly turned his head, glaring at Vegeta. Vegeta was then shocked, as he saw that his punch didn't affect him, as then Goku's eyes were glowing a yellowish color. He then grabbed his wrist and twist it back. Goku tells him that he has no chance. Vegeta's scouter began beeping, as Goku's aura glows a yellowish color, as he began crushing his wrist. As his scouter exploded going past 24,000, Vegeta would be able to escape, jumping back, and in anger rotating his fist, he would then fly into the air as he was beginning to charge his Gallic gun. Vegeta would then tell him that there's no way that he can deflect his Gallic gun, especially at this range, and the fact that he is finished. Do you hear me, Kakarot? Your whole planet is gone. He would begin charging up the attack, as Goku would then stand there, calmly, as he was then cupping his hands forward, then quietly yell out, "Ah, eh, ah, eh," as Vegeta would then finally scream out Gallic gun, throwing it forward. Goku would then yell, "Kamehameha," and then the beams would then clash together. Goku was actually able to match his Gallic gun. As Vegeta was in shock, he would then put all of his power into it, doubling the beam. This is when Goku would then smirk, and his eyes would glow more yellow, as he would then yell more beast-like, as his beam would triple in size, and it would hit Vegeta full force, sending him into the sky. Goku would then stand there calm, panting a little bit, but he couldn't sense his power. He must be dead, there's no way he could have survived that. But then he senses it, as from the sky with a big thud, Vegeta would then land on the ground as he was badly wounded and defeated. Vegeta would begin to crawl away, as he wasn't much of a threat anymore. Goku would then step in front of him, preparing to kill the prince. But then he sees Vegeta was actually a little bit of fear, mercy-like. Goku thinks that he should be dead, but it seems Vegeta has like a childlike fear. Goku would then actually let Vegeta crawl into his space pod, as Vegeta would tell him that you regret saving me, as he would then fly off. Vegeta, who was on Frieza Planet 79, would then recover, but word would get around quickly about a Saiyan defeating him. Frieza heard of the Codex after the army raided their files, but there was no data on it, but it appears that it could be true. Maybe there was a Super Saiyan. Hearing it from Vegeta's word, Frieza also tortured him as well to get the answers. Frieza worries that it might be a Super Saiyan, and if that was a Super Saiyan, he needs to be killed, or else he'll overthrow him. Frieza's fear turns him into drive, as Frieza would then set a course for Earth. As Vegeta would get there quicker because of the space pod, he would then fly on his own space pod way earlier, arriving on Earth. And Goku was there, and he wondering why he came back. Vegeta stopped him. He told him of a great threat that's coming to this planet. With Frieza soon arriving in a few months' time, Goku and the other Z fighters would begin training harder than ever. Now that Vegeta was here, he would begin telling Goku and the others all that he could about Frieza, and the fact that he has a feeling that Frieza is even stronger than what he lets on. And he would explain that Frieza was the reason why planet Vegeta was destroyed to begin with. Now that they have a few months to train, all of them will begin training in the new gravity room that Bulma alongside her father was able to build. But after a period of time, Vegeta will kind of start hogging it for himself, as Vegeta wants to grow to surpass Kakarot. As although Goku easily defeated him, Vegeta would still have the goal to surpass Goku one day, though he kind of hogs it for himself more than ever. But Goku was fine with that, as Goku would then begin training with Gohan, Piccolo, and Raditz. As all three of them would begin training together, this is when Goku then has a great idea, as he would tell Popo about the Room of Spirit and Time. As he entered it before when he was younger, Popo states that it would take about a month for it to get ready. So near the end, when Frieza was soon to be arriving, they would then spend the 24 hours to be able to go into the Room of Spirit and Time for Goku and Gohan. With Goku and Gohan within the Room of Spirit and Time, Goku would begin pushing his power even more, but he does notice that Gohan does have a potential that he never thought of before. He was amazed by how strong Gohan is and the potential that he has. He was truly a gifted warrior. This was a great growth between him and his son, as now with Goku now knowing Gohan's potential, Gohan would begin growing very quickly. Now, alongside his father, Goku's potential is even higher than Gohan's, but they would grow much stronger over the course of the year of training. Once when Frieza's men was soon to arrive, Frieza was right behind, but the Ginyu Force would actually arrive first, albeit they're in a faster and smaller ship. The Ginyu Force was able to arrive about an hour earlier than Frieza, but once when they would arrive, the Z fighters were all ready. As now, Uldo would then battle Krillin and the others. Now he was quickly killed off by Krillin and Tien, As Raditz would then battle Raccoon, Vegeta would then get his hands on Jace, as Birdo would then battle Piccolo. Raditz would actually catch attacks and he would deliver a powerful kicks, as it was an unlikely trio of a team-up would then form, as the three worked together. These three beings were previously villains, but now they're good guys, and it's Vegeta, Piccolo, and Raditz actually working as a trio. Which Vegeta's not really all for it, but they know that they need to work together to be able to take them out quickly, because the main threat is Frieza. It would then begin switching people back and forth to fight, battling Raccoon, Jace, and Birder. Goku would then fly up and he would actually battle Captain Ginyu. As they seemed to be equal in strength, as Goku was in base form at this point, he was actually holding back a lot of power to save for Frieza. As he would begin powering up, Ginyu's scouter would then beep, as his power level would then soar to new heights, as he would stream 200,000 before the scouter would blow up. Now Ginyu was shocked at his power. He thought maybe the scouter was busted, as there's no way that a Saiyan is that powerful. He would then smirk, as it must be true, as he would then stab himself in the chest with his own hand, and he would then try using his Change Now technique. But this time around, Goku being so much faster and his senses being much higher, his smell, his taste, his sight, his hearing is so much higher, he would actually be able to dodge it much quicker. Having higher reflexes, he was able to appear behind Ginyu and twisting his neck, snapping his neck, killing him, before Ginyu can try that technique again. Luckily, this was when the Ginyu force was completely defeated and taken out, as then Frieza's main ship would then arrive. As other smaller ones would then land as well, was holding the majority of his soldiers, as then it was thousands of soldiers as they were all lined up and ready to attack. Frieza would then float out of his spaceship, would then look at Goku and the other Z fighters for the first time. Frieza knows that Goku is the strongest. He seems familiar though. A long time ago. Frieza would then aim his finger, and then all of his men would begin attacking the Z fighters. All the soldiers then flying in. The chaos would be very similar to Resurrection F. All the Z fighters would then be split up, as they were battling their own couple hundred members on their own, so they can handle that just fine. Now this is when Raditz and the others would then split up as well to help the Z fighters, as Goku wants to fight Frieza alone first. Now Vegeta is kind of against this, but he's not going to get in Goku's way, as Vegeta can just tell when Goku powered up that he is actually stronger than Vegeta still. Vegeta's power level, just for showcase, is around over 100,000, similar to Raditz's power level as well, as they're nearly equal in power. But now Frieza was honestly surprised that a Saiyan, and he believes that he must have the Codex within him. He doesn't look much like a Super Saiyan from what I've heard, but he can feel a pressure from the Saiyan, a tremendous battle power, as he was able to defeat Captain Ginyu, it seems. Earlier, this was when the Z fighters would then continue to assault Frieza's men and overpower them very quickly, but they were still tired from doing this, as this is a lot of people to fight. This was when Goku would then state that he would end Frieza. Frieza would then jump out of his chair laughing, as he would tell him that he is an ant compared to a dinosaur to him. And that true, his power level, from what he saw, was 200,000, but his is 530,000. Goku was actually impressed by this power, but he knows that he's stronger than that, as it blew up before he went to his full strength. This is when Goku would then charge in, and he began trading blows with Frieza back and forth, as Frieza was shocked that Goku was actually able to hold his own against him. But then Goku would then headbutt the ruler into his own chair, and it would then make it explode, as Frieza would then scowl in anger. Frieza thinks that this must be a fluke. There's no way he's that powerful. As the two were locking hands similar to Vegeta and Frieza like the original, Frieza's scouter would then start to go off, as it was spiking a power level, shooting over 500,000, which he would say that's impossible, as Goku would begin pushing Frieza back, overpowering him. Frieza's scouter would then explode. Frieza would then use his tail to then trip Goku's leg and throw him away, as Frieza would then be in shock. Frieza would then state, "Then I guess you are the Super Saiyan after all," as Frieza would then grant him a true honor. He's going to skip over his use of go to his full power, as Frieza here does not want to take any chances. This is when Frieza would begin powering up, actually using more of his true strength. Frieza would then glare at him. He then glowed into his power, as he was then kind of gloating about it. Frieza would then state that this is my final form, my true power. Everybody was in shock at this power. His purple aura was making everybody almost hold their eyes to stand back. Now Goku would just glare at him. as Goku was already in his own primal-like form, similar to Akari, his yellow aura flaring and his muscles growing in size. They would then begin their battle, not saying a word, charging in, trading blows back and forth. As he was battling Frieza, it seemed to be equal in power. This version of Frieza is actually stronger than his original self, as Goku uses his full strength now, shining in a golden light, as he would then punch Frieza square in the face, making him spit blood everywhere. He would then appear behind Frieza, delivering a powerful gut punch into the mountainside, as he would then float down. As you have to remember here, with Goku's senses so enhanced, and on top of his quick adaptability, he's able to quickly start overpowering Frieza already. This is when Frieza would then smirk. As while true, Frieza's at about 80% of his power, he knows that if he goes into 100%, it could cause stamina issues. Always ready for combat, Frieza has been secretly training off and on, very lightly over the past years. As we know with Frieza, if he does intense training for just a short time, he can reach the realm of the gods. But with this version of Frieza, since he loves training so much, and he's not training for a direct goal to kill somebody, Frieza was just training to make sure that he was extra strong and prepared if a Super Saiyan ever did appear like he feared. This was when Frieza would then do light training here and there for the past couple of years, but that is just enough to boost his power level a little bit higher than before, and it really helps him unlock his power. This is when Frieza would then despair of the fact that he knew that a Saiyan child possessing a codex. He worried that one day a Super Saiyan might kill him, even after Planet Vegeta destruction, but he kept in shape, doing training here and there, much to his hatred for it. Small training over the years increased his strength and grants him a new power he never imagined. Frieza would then grant him the Death Wish and the honor of seeing it first, his true battle form. This was his 5th form. As he begins transforming, he begins screaming in powers, he begins growing, doubling almost in size, being over 8 foot tall and muscular. He was very similar to his brother Cooler in terms of looks, as Frieza's face mask would then appear on his face, as Goku was shocked, but he would get into a battle stance ready to go. As the power that Frieza possessed was terrifying. Goku would then take the first move, jumping in first to fight Frieza, but Frieza would then instantly block the attack, hitting behind him, giving him a back fist without him even flinching. Goku would then fly around in different directions, trying to attack Frieza with everything that he has, but Frieza was easily blocking it, standing there completely calm. Frieza would then smirk and state that there's no way you can match me, as then this was when he would then be kind of surprised that he has the courage to even do this, as Frieza would then grab Goku by the face, shoving him through the mountain forcefully and slamming him to the ground, as he would then jump Broly style, landing and stomping on his stomach, making Goku call blood. Goku would then get up, as Frieza was actually a little bit surprised. The Saiyan has more courage and wit than he thought, as Goku would then go all out, giving everything that he has, punching back and forth for Frieza, but Frieza was easily blocking the attacks with just a few fingers, not really trying that much. Now, each blow would then hit Goku, as Frieza was hitting Goku so hard it was causing shockwave. But each punch, he was getting instant flashbacks as he was fighting. The first punch would then land with him in a pod. He would then see his father beating King Vegeta, and his mother telling him something important. As then he would then be knocked back into reality, he would then see Frieza, who would be jumping in the air, holding his finger in the air as he formed a massive supernova. As he was able to gather energy very quickly, he would then finish this fight off and then throw it right at Goku. Goku would then grab it, using everything he could to try and push it back. The other Z fighters couldn't even get close because of the force of the attack was pushing them back. With all of his strength, he used all that he could to make sure they did not blow up the planet, but it would hit Goku directly, causing a massive explosion, leaving a large crater and rubble everywhere. Everyone else would then stare in shock. Some of them were very upset, as that's their friend and their brother, Goku, and their father. They thought that he died. Frieza would then be laughing his ass off, laughing now that the torture will begin for the Z fighters. He would then fly in, easily dealing a powerful blow to Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, Piccolo, and Raditz. Vegeta would then try to do something, as Frieza would then begin choking him out, killing him with his own tail. This is when he would then stop, as he would drop Vegeta, seeing Gohan. Gohan was standing there nearby. His anger was higher than ever, as his power level begins spiking to levels never seen before. As he begins bulking in size a little bit, his eyes going a yellowish hue, as he begins using the Great Ape power within him, just like his father did at his age. He would then scream at Frieza to stop it, as he would then fly in at Frieza, attacking him, delivering powerful gut punches to him, as this would actually stun him for a split moment, as this actually shocked him with how strong this child is at his age. As then Gohan would then send Frieza into the air using a sledgehammer attack, sending him back down, as he would then fire hundreds and hundreds of ki blasts, hitting Frieza, making a large crater and destroying the entire area. This was when Frieza would then be standing there, as he didn't really have any damage on him, but he was impressed by Gohan's power. That almost stung him. He would then appear right in front of Gohan and neck chop him, making him fall to the ground. As now the torture will continue, Frieza would then start to get bored. After all of this was the final Super Saiyan. Now he's thinking about destroying this entire planet, turning it into space dust. Or he might keep it as to torture Vegeta, and maybe keep it around to trade for income. But he will most likely destroy it, as he's going to kill every single Saiyan on the planet if there is any extra around. This would then be with Goku. Goku was in the rubble. He would then open his eyes barely, but he was in a black space. It was completely empty almost. He was almost floating. He was in base form and nearly killed, but he would then see his father appear. And then King Vegeta would appear as well. But then dozens and thousands of other Saiyans appear in different sizes, and it seems to be from different ages, showing different armors from different times, and even some having simple animal fur around them. But then a man in the animal-like fur would then walk up with a larger man who was next to him. Both of them seem to be polar opposites of each other. But one man seems calm and nurturing. He seems very strong and very pure of light. His hair was red. Other man, opposite. He was the epitome of what a Saiyan was. His energy was red and black, dark. His hair was like Raditz, and he was very demonic. As these two beings would then appear in front of Goku, Bardock would have told his son to stop, to get up, that he's not dying. But then the man with this red fiery hair would then tell Goku to get up, not give up, keep fighting, to unlock the power that he has within him, to really use it. He would then, both Saiyans would then offer their hand, as once when Goku takes it, all of the Saiyans would then enter Goku's body, as he would then glow a large light. As then, Frieza, who was out there choking Vegeta again, massive green explosion behind Frieza makes everyone turn, as Goku would then appear from the rubble. His hair was standing up, and his pupils were gone. He appeared dead calm, but it was so much primal fury and a calm stature. Frieza would then drop Vegeta, laughing that the Super Saiyan has finally arrived, as right before he could finish his word, Goku was right behind Frieza. Frieza would then jump back, as he states, how did he get there? As Frieza would then throw a punch towards Goku, he would then grab his hand, and he would then twist his hand, easily snapping his wrist. He would then tell Frieza that he will suffer for all the people that he has destroyed. He would then suddenly roar in anger, as his roar was almost like an Usaru. His aura flared, blowing Frieza back through the mountains, as he would then fly right towards Frieza, delivering a powerful punch to his face and delivering a powerful knee to the stomach, making Frieza fall back in agony. This was when Frieza would then cover himself, and he would then laugh, saying that he's too much, as he would then fire a blast right at Goku's face, but it did nothing. He would then look up and see that Frieza charged a much bigger supernova, putting much more energy into it. He would then tell him to die with this planet, as he would then throw the attack. Goku, who caught it easily, he would then throw it right back at Frieza, as it would launch the Emperor into outer space. Frieza was actually able to slide off the attack, but he was still wounded from it. But Frieza can breathe in outer space, until Goku was right in front of him in outer space. Thanks to Goku's mutation and genetics, he was actually able to survive the vacuum of space, as he's able to hold his breath for an extreme long period of time, and not be destroyed by the non-gravity or his head exploding. This was when Goku would then smirk, as he would then charge a ki ball in his hand, mirroring Bardock exactly the same pose and the same similar attack, as his attack was a bright blue. Frieza's eyes widened in shock. He looked just like that Saiyan all those years ago. It must be his offspring. He then would then feel true fear, as Goku would then scream at Frieza, yelling "perish." As he would then throw the attack, it would expand into a massive ball of energy, It would then engulf Frieza, completely destroying the Emperor. Once that peace was finally brought to Earth in the universe, Goku would land back on Earth. He was completely exhausted. As he would begin laughing, as Vegeta would then give him a thumbs up, everyone would begin laughing as it was all okay. Back at home, Chi-Chi was furious about the fact that Gohan nearly got killed, and he went right back to studying, as a few months of peace would then pass as Goku was meditating near the Bamboo Forest. Then a young man would then appear, and his name was Trunks. And he was from the future, and he needs to ask Goku for help. He would actually have a quick little spar with Goku, which would be kind of similar, just Goku would not be in Super Saiyan, he would actually be in base form, able to match Trunks. Trunks was amazed with how strong Goku was in his base form, and Goku was actually surprised to see that version of a Super Saiyan. He's never seen a form looking like that. It looks similar to his, but his is like a greenish. His is more like a yellow and it has blue eyes. But all forms aside, Trunks would then state that he's from the future, and in 3 years' time, the Red Ribbon Army created a powerful mutated monster, as some of them actually survived Goku's attack from all those years ago. Trunks would then explain that they were able to work with DNA splicing and mutation experiments, as the Red Ribbon Army was able to create a monster, a being of pure evil, and all it knew was destruction. It had no purpose, it had no drive, all it knew was the fight. That's all it knew. Now, with the fact that Goku was here, and Trunks can maybe use this to save his timeline, there's a chance that everything can be changed. This was when how this mutation even started, was because they were collecting DNA off an alien species into one being. And it adapts very quickly. And it killed all the Z Fighters, but then it would leave planet Earth, spreading across the universe, evolving and growing stronger without stopping. And it actually killed future Goku in his timeline, not a heart virus. He wasn't able to stop it. But now that Goku is ready and he has time to prepare, and he knows about his weaknesses and powers, he might have a chance. Trunks would then explain that half of the population was killed by the heart virus, and most of the population was killed off by this monster. Goku in this timeline did not get the heart virus. Because of his mutation, I feel like his healing factor would actually stop a heart virus from even affecting him. And here's the other thing too. Why is this mutated monster not an android? It is not an android at all. It's not necessarily a bio-android either. It's a mutated monster. It's just a being of spliced DNA put together. I guess you could say cell if you wanted. This being, since the fact that Dr. Gero was killed, they could not really kind of step into the technology aspects of the android department. So they decided to go into a whole new route and do DNA splicing and mutations, blending different pieces of abilities together in one being, making a monster. This would change the Red Ribbon Army and make them interesting as well than the average and the usual android and technology side. With Trunks now leaving, going back in his time ship, this was when Piccolo was in here just like before with some of the other Z Fighters. As Goku would then try to cover most of the stuff up that Trunks told him, Piccolo would then shut him up and explain that he can hear him all across the planet anyway. He would then explain in simple terms that there is a monstrosity that the Red Ribbon Army made, and within 3 years' time, it will then show itself at this location and at this time. So they need to get training. As all of them would then go their own way, Raditz and Piccolo would then stay again and train with Goku and Gohan, now continuing to grow stronger together as 3 years later, they all get ready and arrive at the place Trunks said, as it was the Red Ribbon Army headquarters. Trunks would arrive on time. As they would then walk out, the main leader, one of the Red Ribbon Army officials, would then laugh as he was a lead scientist. He was delighted that Goku was right here to die. As appearing from the large container was a large monster, at least 20 feet tall, and it reminded Goku of a Frieza in a way, but a large spider-like monster and abomination of all kinds, as it had multiple arms and weird-looking tail, and it was weird. As this leader would then command the monster to kill Goku, but the monster didn't even move, it just looked right at the scientist. The scientist would then yell at it to attack him, but then it would then crush the scientist with his tail, as this monster was out of control. It purposely led the scientist to lead him out there so he can break off the mind control and go attack Goku on his own, But he's not just attacking Goku, he's attacking everybody. They would all then split up, attacking the creature all around it. But this creature was fast for its size, as it was able to teleport around almost instantly. As it would then grab Goku, Piccolo, and Raditz with his arms, slamming both of them down into the ground. As its power was immense, even Goku in his Ikari form was not enough to even stop this thing, as whenever they do to it, it kept on healing and growing stronger. This is when a large attack would then hit the monster, stunning it, as it would turn, seeing Vegeta smirking, crossing his arms. Vegeta would then state that he's going to show a power that's been blessed for 1,000 years, as Vegeta would then transform into Super Vegeta, aka Super Saiyan. Now with Super Saiyan Vegeta, he would then charge up a massive Big Bang attack, hitting the monster, as it would actually damage it a little bit and stun it. Vegeta would state to hurry it up, as this is when all the other Z Fighters would then charge up their other attacks as well, firing at the monster at the same time. It would actually blast half of its body off, but then the body would then dissipate into bubbles and just liquid. But then, it would then regenerate nearly instantly. As it would grab Vegeta with his new regenerated arm, nearly crushing the Saiyan, Goku would then power up into his Ikari form. Now Goku has had 3 years to adapt to this form, as it's very difficult to maintain, as he has full control over it, but it's just that gaining access to this form is so dangerous because of the raw power. It can nearly destroy his body if he's not perfected it. But he's gotten a lot better, as now that Goku's in the new form, his hair now green, flaring, he would then fly in, crashing into the monster through the Red Ribbon Army base, as he would deliver powerful punches to it, staggering the creature, knocking it back. He was able to damage the monster, but it was adapting quickly, as every time that they were attacking it, it was getting less and less effective on it, and Goku was running out of options. It's starting to adapt to brute force, as now brute force alone will not kill this thing. Not even key attacks will not kill this thing. With Goku running out of options, it would begin overpowering Goku, as it's just not stopping. It has unlimited energy, unlimited powers. It just continuously is growing to adapt to Goku. Goku was then running out of options, as he would then try to fire a full power Kamehameha wave, as it would hit the creature, as all the other Z Fighters would then try the same attack, hitting it again, but it didn't do anything this time, as it adapted to what they did to it. Now with this creature now growing more in strength, he would begin to start overpowering Goku, as Goku was running out of options. Goku then has one idea. He could try making himself explode and sacrificing himself, but he can't guarantee that they would incinerate every single cell of his creature. He would need to think of a plan, as Goku has an idea. The sun. The sun can incinerate every single cell of this being, completely obliterating it from existence. But he needs all the energy he can to push it and overpower it to the sun in time. He would then ask them for their energy, as all of them, Vegeta, Gohan, Raditz, Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, Gohan, everyone else would then grant their energy to Goku, giving a massive jump in power. He would then tackle the beast, but before he does, he would then tell his son Gohan that he loves him, and his brother Raditz as well, that he'll see him around, as he would then fly straight into space, as Goku was able to hold his breath and survive the vacuum of space for a period of time, and also to the fact that these beings can move way faster than light speed, he's actually able to get to the sun very quickly. Now with Goku actually fighting the monster in space, the monster was able to quickly adapt to not having air very quickly, as it then punched Goku back, as Goku would then fly right back in, tackling it, as it would then go right into the sun, completely incinerating both beings. Making a large explosion, the sun would then glow very bright, but then it would dissipate. As Gohan would then scream as he lost his father, Goku would then appear in the other world, as the monster was completely obliterated and it was actually destroyed by the sun. Now this is when they would gather the Dragon Balls and they were going to wish Goku back to life. But Goku would actually reject this and tell them no, as he feels like all these people are showing up just because of him. Frieza, now this monstrosity. He thinks that Gohan and the others are so much stronger now that he definitely thinks that he can be gone. Maybe it's for the best. And besides, there's a lot of strong guys up here that he needs to see. Now, Goku was able to talk through this by the help of King Yama, who did a solid for Goku and actually helped him keep his body. Now, this is when Goku would then go on his adventures in the other world. With Goku now traveling around, he would be able to fly over to King Kai's world very quickly, as remember he's way past light speed at this point. He would then run over Snake Way, flying there very quickly. After saying a few jokes to King Kai, he would quickly want to train him, as he heard about Goku, the fact that he defeated Frieza and that monstrosity of whatever it was. He would easily train Goku. Goku was easily adaptable to the 10 times gravity, as he trained in that before. He would then learn the Kaioken technique and the Spirit Bomb. Now the Kaioken technique was interesting to him, but he doesn't really see a need for it as he has his new form. This is when Goku would then go into the Otherworld tournament and battle some otherworldly beings. This is when Goku would actually meet Piccolo for the first time, and with Goku's Akari-like state, he would actually be able to defeat Piccolo, as Goku would then showcase his primal form. That is what I'm calling the green version of Goku's form, the primal form. As this is Goku, as it's different than Broly's legendary Super Saiyan form, though it looks very similar because he is a mutated Saiyan, it's upgraded in a way. So I'm calling it the primal form, or the primal state. Goku would have easily overpowered Piccolo, knocking him out of the ring, as he was able to tank through Piccolo's flaming attack. With Goku now being the winner, he would then be trained by the Kai, who stated that he'll train him within the next 100 years as he needs to get training to catch up. This was when 7 years would pass, just like the original, as Gohan's now a young man. With the fact that he failed to save his father, Gohan would actually do a little bit more training than he would in the original. And considering the fact that Raditz was now with Launch and he was happily married and has a kid, their kid is also pretty strong too, as it's a girl, and you guys can name her in the comments down below if you want. She's around the same exact age as Goten is, being around 7 to 8 years old, as of course Trunks was stillborn just like before, being 7 to 8 years old. So they're a cool little trio together, and they're like a little dream team, like a little trio team, which is really adorable. You would have the fact that with Gohan, Raditz would be very strict on him alongside with Piccolo, for Gohan to continue growing stronger into the warrior that he was meant to be. So Gohan would do studying, but with even a little bit of training, he would grow much stronger. After 7 years, Goku would still be granted the 24 hours to be brought back to Earth for a period of time. Now, before you guys asked, why doesn't Goku just wish to be brought back to life? Well, Goku doesn't want to either way, because it seems very peaceful. Why would he want to? So, unless he really needs the wish, he's going to save it. But 24 hours is plenty of time to go see his family for a little bit, and then he'll go back up to the other world to not cause any problems. With Goku now coming down during the World Martial Arts Tournament, just like before, Vegeta was excited to see Goku, as he's been wanting a rematch for so long. Vegeta's pride and his drive to surpass Goku was even higher than it was before, as he hates the fact that Goku was easily overpowering him, and the fact that he's always been ahead of him. Raditz was excited to see his brother more than ever, as of course he missed his brother more than anything. Raditz has had like the greatest character arc other than Piccolo and Vegeta. He's grown up a lot. As everyone else would then see Goku, as they were all so delighted to see him. This was when they would then pick to go join a fight. Goku wasn't really going to be fighting, but he decided to anyway, as Vegeta would then be challenged to fight Goku. As then, this is when Gohan would still become the Golden Warrior and the Great Saiyan Man, just like before, as Gohan does actually have access to Super Saiyan. Now Gohan does have this Akari state, but he does have normal Super Saiyan as well, as he was able to unlock this over the years, as Raditz does have Super Saiyan as well alongside Vegeta. With Raditz, there's a lot more Super Saiyans now, as well as Raditz's daughter actually showcased Super Saiyan as well, same with Goten and Trunks. So now you have a lot of Super Saiyans around, and this is when Vegeta would then finally get his dream match. As Gohan would have still met Videl just like before, she would have been beaten by Spopovich just like earlier. This was when the Supreme Kai would finally reveal himself to Gohan. And this was when he would actually hold Gohan back to have his energy stolen by Spopovich and Yamu. Once when they took his energy, they would then fly back to Babidi, as the Z Fighters would then fly their way over to go see what was going on. With the Z Fighters then heading that way, it was of course Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Raditz, Piccolo. With now all 5 to 6 of them all ready to go, they are of course much more stronger than their original selves. Even Piccolo is much more stronger too, having the motivation to train harder than ever. Once when they do arrive going into Babidi's ship, the difference here is that once when they go into Babidi's ship, Vegeta would be taken over to mind control. Now he would actually try to take over Raditz's mind too, as Raditz was not pure heart like how he is today. Now Raditz would actually reject the mind control, but Vegeta would still accept it, try and surpass Goku. Once when him and Goku go fight on the Rocky Wasteland, the fight would end much faster. Goku's power level is so high to the point to where it's literally not making any sense. is that once when Goku goes into his legendary Super Saiyan form, or the real version, the primal state, this is when he would then knock out Vegeta very quickly, as Goku knows that he cannot mess around with Vegeta, because then this will resurrect Buu. But the fact that Gohan was much more powerful and his energy was taken, Babidi was able to revive Buu, with Dabura handing over his own energy to revive him. Now that Majin Buu was revived, he would have actually killed Dabura just like before. Once when he is now defeated, this is when Gohan would actually be able to fight him in as a Super Saiyan. Gohan would even go into a Super Saiyan 2, showcasing it for the first time, as Raditz would even go Super Saiyan 2 as well, as they've been training hard for the past 7 years. Vegeta also went Super Saiyan 2 against Goku, but it was futile. Once when Goku was heading back over there, they would actually be able to fight Fat Buu pretty evenly, with both of them teaming up, and the fact that Gohan's much more powerful than his original self, Fat Buu would be overpowered very quickly. This version of Goku, remember, is not as nice as his original self is. He does sense that there is some good within Buu, but he doesn't want to take chances. Considering the fact that Raditz is there as well, Goku would then join in on the fight, and they would overpower Fat Buu pretty much instantly. As he had no chance, all three of them would then charge up a large attack, killing Babidi and Fat Buu at the same time. Now, with Goku's time ran out, he would actually then fly back up to Earth, and he would then go back up to the other world. As for Vegeta, once when he recovered, he would then be ashamed for what he did, as with the help of Supreme Kai, he was actually able to remove the Babidi's mind control, and he would actually offer Gohan to come train alongside Raditz for helping stop Buu. And this is when also the Supreme Kai would then appear in the other world and offer Goku, as Goku would definitely be down to go hang out with them and see what's going on. But Goku would not be brought back to life, and this of course changes the Buu saga very quickly. But since the Z Fighters were so much more stronger than they were originally, sadly Majin Buu had no chance against this version. Right after the Buu arc, things were finally peaceful for everybody. In this timeline, Goku would actually stay dead like the original, though none of that would really change too much, just the fact that Goku would not be around. But once when Beerus was sleeping per usual, he would have awakened, seeing his vision the fact that he had a Saiyan God, a being that can rival his power. Beerus would be at his dinner table eating food. He would then see that Whis was going over all the Saiyans that are kept alive, but there was one that did pique his interest, Son Goku, as he was different from the others, having incredible potential. Whis would explain that this Saiyan was actually given the codex of all the other ancient Saiyans in the generations, all put inside him at the same time. This makes him much more higher potential and very gifted. This would pique his interest. Maybe this is a Saiyan God. Maybe it is true. Beerus would then ask where he is, as Whis would then state that he's on King Kai's planet currently training. Beerus and Whis would then fly off and head right that way. Son Goku was in training on King Kai's planet just like before, as he was enjoying his time. This is when Beerus would then arrive, as right before he does, King Kai would notice, as he would then tell Goku to mind his manners and to do everything that he can to try and control Goku and keep him calm and very respectful. When Beerus arrives, Goku would kind of be a bit goofy, trying to kind of be very formal towards Beerus, but his Saiyan blood was boiling. Fighting somebody like Beerus, and after what he's hearing, the fact of how strong he was, he really wants to fight somebody like Lord Beerus. After meeting him, he would then ask Lord Beerus if it's okay if they can just have like a little fight, just a little one. He just really wants to fight him for once. And Lord Beerus would then accept it, as this is what he wants in the end, as he's heard good things about him and to not disappoint him. This is when Goku would then get excited, as Goku would then power up to his Uzaru state, and Beerus was a little bit impressed by his power, as Goku has grown much stronger. This is the fact that Goku has stayed dead for the past few years. On top of that, up to 7 years as well, his power level has greatly increased on top of this. The fact that he's dead, he can train much more without having a stamina problem or really a life forcing issue. That's the reason why Goku was able to unlock Super Saiyan 3 originally. Now against the likes of Beerus, Beerus was very impressed with Goku's power level in this little Uzaru state. Comments on how you must be able to control that giant monkey form that's pretty impressive. As Goku would then charge in attacking Beerus, Beerus would still dodge by blocking with his hand, just like before, only using one hand to block his attacks. It would then fly around, destroying King Kai's planet, causing a massive crater around it, as Goku would then send him off into the air as they would continue fighting, but this was not really cutting it. Goku can see that Beerus is not really even trying, or really showing any struggle. Goku would then say, I guess I'll cut to the chase and give you what you want. He would then power up, screaming, as he would then grow a little bit in size, roughly a few inches taller, and this is when Goku would then achieve his primal form. Or if you guys want to just call it Legendary Super Saiyan, that's up to you guys in the comments down below. Now that Goku is now in this form, this does pique Beerus' interest a little bit more. This version of Goku is many more times powerful than he originally was as a Super Saiyan 3, thousands of times so. But when he actually does battle Beerus, he actually gives Beerus a little bit of a fight, but without God Ki, he can't match Beerus, as Goku was struggling to even keep up with him, as he has to use all of his senses, which is what's saving him right now. Since his enhanced sense of smell, taste, hearing, and sight, and sensation, he can feel where Beerus is heading to, but Beerus is so fast that that's redundant. Beerus would still knock Goku out by hitting the back of his neck, but this does pique his interest about the other Saiyans as he wants to go see Earth anyway. Beerus would still fly off and head to Earth. Now the only difference here is that since there is no Majin Buu to really cause problems with the pudding, Beerus would not really freak out. Now you could say that Goten and Trunks would still kind of hit pudding out of his hand, you could say that could happen as well, but either way, what can Goku do? But Beerus' main goal is the fact that Beerus wants to fight a Super Saiyan God, and that's final. The food was fantastic, and he had a fun time dancing to the music, as Bulma was still celebrating her 38th birthday party, just like the original. But Beerus still wants to fight the Saiyan God, and he's starting to get mad since there isn't one. That Saiyan was close, but he didn't have the raw God Ki output that he wanted. He was the strongest mortal he's ever seen so far, but not a god. Vegeta and the others would try their hand at fighting him, but they would have zero chance against Beerus, as he was far too powerful for them. With them running out of options, what are they going to do now? But they need enough Saiyans to be able to activate the Super Saiyan God. And they technically could, since the fact that Raditz does have their child, and Vegeta does as well, so this is where some differences are going to occur. Since Goku is still technically dead, they could technically have Whis go travel and revive Goku. But I don't really think that that would happen. Or would it? Lord Beerus would want to fight the strongest Saiyan God possible, and he thinks that that Saiyan that he fought in King Kai's world was the strongest so far. So Whis would quickly fly over to King Kai's world and actually resurrect Goku. Since he resurrects Goku, remember as Whis can revive anybody that's dead instantly, they would then arrive right back. As the whole family was so happy to see Goku and his friends, they need to cut to the chase. As first things first, they need to stop Beerus. As Beerus was sitting there waiting, drinking wine or whatever, he was enjoying the peace, but now it's time for him to get what he wants. But first, they don't know how to do it. Well, they would then get Shenron. As with Shenron would then explain about the Super Saiyan God and explain what he did. As Goku would even recognize that man that was standing there in the short image, and that he's seen him before a long time ago. That's who was helping him. That was the man with the red hair, a Saiyan God. He is in him. And the man's name was Yamoshi, but Goku doesn't know about this. As people who don't know who Yamoshi is, he was apparently the original Super Saiyan God who rebelled against the Saiyans, giving his friend's energy. He was able to transform into a Saiyan God, but the power faded off and he was destroyed. But from what other people have stated, that he was also the first Super Saiyan as well, but that's not officially confirmed, and his past is very vague. But some people like to say that, oh, he battled Cumber and defeated him, but that's Dragon Ball Heroes. After they get plenty of the Saiyans, getting the 5 Saiyans to surround Goku, having 6 Saiyans total, granting all their Super Saiyan power into Goku, this is when Goku would then become a Super Saiyan God. But there's a difference in this version of Goku. This version of Goku has the Saiyan God hair. It has more of a Super Saiyan 4 style, but he does have this wondrous tattoos that are going across his chest to his shoulders that are glowing red. Goku looks majestic. He's angelic almost, divine as a god. This is Goku's true god form, as now that he is completely fused, Yamoshi within him has granted him the power, as remember Yamoshi's spirit still wanders the universe, but it's now within Goku. The Goku mirrors Yamoshi a lot, and Beerus was delighted to see that the Saiyan God was finally here. With the Super Saiyan God now there, Goku would then look at his hands and see the raw power that he has. In terms of scaling, this version of Goku as a Super Saiyan God, with the boost that he's given, on top of the fact that he is a true pure divine being now, especially having Yamoshi, who was the first god there, this greatly increases the multiplier as well. This would make Goku far stronger than Resurrection F Saga and even the Universe 6 Arc Saga. So this would make him far stronger than a Blue Kaioken times 10 and a hit as well, which is a massive increase of millions upon millions and millions of times stronger. On top of the fact that Goku was already stronger in general in his base form by far. Once when Beerus finally got what he wanted, both of them would then get into a fighting stance and begin their legendary battle. Both of them would begin trading blows back and forth, as Goku was still getting used to the god power, as he was kind of going too fast for himself to even catch himself, but with his adaptability, he was very quickly able to make the power his own. As then they would continue fighting, going back and forth, they would be fighting all over the amusement park, all over the area, battling through the caves, as Beerus would tell him that in all honesty, he's going around 70% himself. But we all know that this is BS, as Beerus was saying this to try and persuade Goku to get stronger and to grow even more. We all know that Beerus was probably using only 1 to 2% of his actual power. He's as strong as the plot needs him to be. This is when Goku would say, in all honesty, I'm only going about 60 myself. As this would then make Beerus angry that he's holding back that much power, he would then charge in at Goku, increasing his speed, as Goku and him would begin fighting back and forth, both of them seeming like they're one-upping each other every single time. This is when they would then fly into outer space, as Goku's power begins to flicker. Then, once when Goku would then fly in, he would then lose the Saiyan God power, being back in his base form. Beerus was then disappointed, as he doesn't see the God power anymore. He wonders, was it only temporary? And does it only last for that long? This is when Goku would then fly in, but then he would then uppercut Beerus using the red aura. Goku would then smirk and state, no, I was just getting the drop on you. As Goku states that he did actually lose the power, and then Goku would then try something out. Goku would begin charging up, as he would then burst back into the Super Saiyan God form. This version of Goku already has full control over it because he has Yamoshi's DNA and his spirit is living within Goku right now, thus granting him the God Ki that he needs. And his body is so adaptable to the God energy that he already has control over it to be able to access in and out of the form, without the need of Whis' prior training for Goku and Vegeta originally. Beerus was then happy that the fight was not ending yet, as he was kind of getting to the good part. Goku would then power up a Super Saiyan God to its maximum power, as Beerus notes that his power level just continues to rise and rise, as this is just Goku's potential, showing how broken Goku is actually becoming. Goku would then charge in using 100% of his power level. As he begins adapting to Beerus, he would actually land a couple blows on Beerus, as Beerus was holding back still, which would actually make him draw blood. Beerus, because since he was cocky and holding back, would get actually furious. He would then increase his power millions of times more, showing off more of his destructive energy. He would then battle Goku, and the fight would seem to be equal, as Beerus was holding back, as we know for plot reasons, because he was enjoying his time, and he was enjoying actually giving Goku a real match, and actually Goku giving him fun, as Beerus has not cut loose ever. Beerus even admits that his power soon can rival that of the Gods of Destruction for sure. He might even be able to match some of the weaker ones with his power alone currently, as Goku thinks that he's definitely a god for sure. Whis was in space already and he was watching the fight, as he does have a lot of interest in Goku. Now he does see that Goku would be a perfect candidate to become a God of Destruction. He has the perfect power, as already without even God training, his strength and power alone is nearing the level of the lower tier destroyers. Back with Beerus, they would then continue to fight back and forth, but of course Beerus says that the fight is over. Beerus would then power up a lot more, showing off more of his purple aura. As Beerus got actually serious, he would then fly in and deliver a powerful final blow to Goku, who Goku has already exhausted pretty much all of his stamina at this point. Goku would then pass out, and Beerus would then catch him and bring him back down. Beerus would not destroy Earth, as he had the most fun he's had in millions of years battling. Other than other destroyers, he had a lot of fun. Whis would then directly offer Goku to become a God of Destruction. But would Goku actually take it? while true Goku is more of his Saiyan self, as the head injury never truly hurt him. The difference here is that Goku was still growing up with compassion and care. Goku, albeit, is a little bit more neutral. But I don't think that Goku would accept being a destroyer, as that's a lot of responsibility. Goku would have never thought of being one unless maybe he doesn't have a choice. Now, this is not a God of Destruction video, so maybe we might do that one later on. Or if we already done one, then I guess you will be seeing it in the previous parts down below. Goku wouldn't really accept it, as he thinks he's not really cut out for that kind of gig, as he doesn't want to hurt and destroy innocent people and stuff, and if he's grumpy like how Lord Beerus is, he doesn't want it at all. As Whis would then say, well, that's a shame. But in the end, this would actually make Goku stronger in the end, because he's not being held back just by god duties and destructive capabilities. Goku can learn them all. Whis would then offer Goku something else, as he would then offer to train Goku. So when Beerus does have maybe a fit, or Beerus can actually kind of have somebody really fight, and Beerus would even tell Whis to accept that, because he wouldn't mind fighting Goku anytime, especially after he takes a nice long nap, maybe a few years at least. This is when Vegeta would not take the L, as Vegeta would want to come along, and of course Goku would ask Whis if he could, and Whis would accept. Raditz would also want to come along as well, as he's not going to be left behind in the dust. Since Gohan does take his training a little bit more seriously, he would still stay on planet Earth and protect it alongside Piccolo and the others. So Raditz, Vegeta, and Goku would then all go to Beerus' world. The training would be intense, but Goku would quickly surpass Vegeta and Raditz very quickly. Raditz and Vegeta would be more rivals than Vegeta actually is to Goku. Vegeta would actually accept the fact that Kakarot is actually just a different breed of a Saiyan. He's special and he's unique, but he sees Raditz as the biggest thing. Raditz and Vegeta seem to have more of the Goku and Vegeta rival and relationship, because Raditz is still a low class, but he was able to match Vegeta and even keep up with him. So they would definitely be more rivals than anything, but Vegeta would still strive to be number one, and of course, that would mean that Goku would be in the way. That being said, once when Beerus was still passed out sleeping just like before, they would begin their training inside of Whis' staff, all three of them training together. Goku would be able to master his ki control much better, controlling God Ki, since he already kinda can. But he still wants to control his ki from leaking from his body. This is when Vegeta and Raditz would then learn how to access Super Saiyan God, and how to access Super Saiyan Blue, which is a whole new power that Goku never even thought about. Now, Whis would actually sit down with Goku and actually discuss with him, as Raditz and Vegeta are training, about the fact that his power is completely different than theirs. Whis needs to do a different kind of training for Goku, and explain to him that true, he does have God Ki and he can access his God form, but he believes that Super Saiyan Blue would not benefit him that much. He explains that Super Saiyan Blue would only work for those who do have Super Saiyan. While it is true that he does have Legendary Super Saiyan, that's a mutated version of the Super Saiyan form, and the power is too wild and too imbalanced to be controlling, like how Super Saiyan Blue. So, with Vegeta and Raditz having their own Super Saiyan Blue form, Goku would have to strive for something else. Whis would then explain about the fact that you can utilize your Super Saiyan God form. He would explain that his Super Saiyan God form is unique, the fact that there is different layers to it, and that the more you dive in deeper, the more powerful that same form can become. He would explain to Goku the fact that your Super Saiyan God is the perfect form. It has no ki balance. It has no ki imbalance, no ki issues. It's a perfect stamina, and it keeps you very calm and tranquil. It's almost like Super Saiyan Blue, but without the stamina problems, and it's a much stronger power-up. He would then explain to him then also, because the fact that your calmness is so high, that legendary form of yours will not lose control. As he wonders that if you did lose control and have a mindless output, your power could rise without question. But it will come at a cost, as since you would be so angry and wild, you would not be able to make good decisions in battle, thus being blinded by rage. So Goku would begin training in his Super Saiyan God form. almost using it like a base form, as he would begin training and upgrading the power, thus increasing his strength much higher. This is when the Resurrection F saga would start. The difference here is Goku would not really be in the fight. It would actually be Raditz and Vegeta, as Raditz and Vegeta would actually get the limelight battling Frieza. Here's one difference though. Since this version of Frieza is a little bit stronger, and this version of Frieza does have his 5th form, this version of Frieza would be able to access his golden 5th form. With Raditz and Vegeta luckily being a lot more powerful than the original, they would be able to battle Frieza pretty well. Now, this is when I believe that Frieza would still overpower them in the beginning, but he would still have the stamina issue like he did before. And this is when Frieza would then lose the power as he's still not used to it and he got desperate. As soon as he got the form, he came over here to battle them. Goku would not intervene in the fight, but with the fact that Vegeta would drop his guard, they would reverse time. This is when Raditz would then show up and kill Frieza before he could destroy the planet. So Goku would only have fought Frieza's men and any other of the rest of the little Ginyu force like Tagoma and them, not really battling Frieza. This is when afterwards the Universe 6 arc would happen. The only difference between the Universe 6 arc is the fact that the characters are much more stronger. The fact that you had Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, then you had the most powerful character, Monaka. But I feel like Beerus would not bring Monaka like before, as he knows how strong Goku is, and the fact that Goku doesn't really need motivation to grow stronger. But the fighting will go pretty similar. Goku would still fight Frost. This time around, when Frost actually poisons him, it doesn't work on Goku. Because of his Saiyan genes, and the fact that diseases and secret things such as poisons don't work on him, Goku would be unfazed. Goku would then notice that he did stab him with something though, as he could feel it. He would knock him out of the ring, and this is when Frost would be exposed for cheating. This is when Vegeta would still fight Cabba just like before, and thus making Cabba furious and then transforming into a Super Saiyan. Once when Cabba would be transformed into a Super Saiyan, he would battle Vegeta just like before, as Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan Blue. Raditz would actually fight Vegeta, as we can just swap it up a little bit and just say that Vegeta wanted to take a break and have Raditz go next to fight Vegeta. Now, this is when Raditz would be able to defeat him using Super Saiyan and using his Double Sunday attack. Raditz has of course improved this attack so it's much more powerful, as Double Sunday was able to overpower his magma and knock him out. This is when of course Vegeta would then defeat Cabba just like before, as he would still showcase Super Saiyan Blue. This is when some changes are going to occur. Once when Hit shows up, Vegeta would still be overpowered in the beginning, but near the end of the fight, Vegeta did use up a lot of stamina because of Super Saiyan Blue, as we stated that if you go in and out of Super Saiyan Blue, you're only able to use a third of his strength. But Vegeta is much more powerful than the original, so even though he's only at a third of his strength, he would actually be able to throw hands with Hit for a little bit and nearly land a punch on him, but Hit would just increase his speed even more and catch Vegeta with a gut punch, but Vegeta would actually land an extremely small scratch on his cheek. This is when Vegeta would then be skidded back, as Vegeta would almost be knocked out of the ring, but he was still badly wounded. He understands how this time skip thing works. Goku and Raditz, who are watching, understands it as well, as they can just see it. This is when Vegeta would then charge in blue, and he would then battle Hit back and forth, being able to predict where he was coming from. Once when Vegeta would then land a powerful punch on Hit, it wouldn't damage him too badly, but Hit would then respect Vegeta's advanced adaptability. Hit would then take his hands out of his pockets, and he would then use his real speed, as he would then surprise Vegeta. Since Vegeta's stamina was already low and he was already tired, a powerful punch to his chest would then send Vegeta hitting the wall of the arena, thus making Vegeta lose. This is when Goku instantly steps up and he jumps right in. Goku would then go into his Uzaru state, and he would then battle Hit, actually easily able to match him almost in speed. Remember, this version of Goku is much faster than Goku would ever be. This version of Goku was able to easily predict, as Goku is using all of his senses on top of his speed, on top of the fact of his adaptability, the fact that he saw Hit fighting Vegeta, he knows how it is. Once when Hit might land 1 to 2 attacks maximum on Goku, Goku would be able to then block these attacks and then battle Goku. This is when Goku would then showcase more of his legendary Super Saiyan form, and this is when he would start to overpower Hit. This is when Hit would then grow stronger. Using his potential unlock, he would then grow way more powerful. In his unlocked potential, Hit would then get into Goku's stance, being very similar, and he would then battle Goku back and forth, and he would start to overpower him, but Goku's adaptability was so high that Hit was not able to keep up. This is when Goku would then show him a treat. As he would not hold back against Hit, he would then transform into a Super Saiyan God to end this fight, and Hit was in shock at his power. Even Champa was surprised, as Beerus was smirking, thinking that he has this in the bag. This is when Goku would then fly in and deliver a powerful punch right across his face, which would shock him at his speed, as time skip couldn't even stop him. This would then throw Hit completely out of the ring, and Goku would then be crowned the winner. Since Beerus still won, the same thing would happen to where he would still wish for Champa's planet Earth to be brought back in Universe 6. Since there was peace now, there is one difference: the Goku Black Arc. With the Goku Black Arc now in full circle, the difference with the Goku Black Arc is the fact that Goku and the others are much more powerful. Trunks would be relatively the same in terms of strength, as that wouldn't really change. Goku Black got Goku from another timeline, so it is the same version of Goku Black as the original, same as Zamasu. Once when they would go battle them, even the first time they go into the time machine, Goku by this point has already met Zeno and befriended him, thus getting the Zeno button. This is when they would go battle Goku Black, and when Zamasu does make his appearance, Vegeta would actually be able to fight both him and Zamasu no problem, since Vegeta is so much more powerful. And the fact that Raditz is here, and he's the Super Saiyan Blue, and you also have Goku, who's much more powerful as well. Goku Black and Zamasu have no chance. Even though Zamasu is immortal, they would then fuse into Merge Zamasu. This is when Goku would then power up to his Super Saiyan God form, and this is when they would have an intense battle, very similar to how perfected Blue Goku fought Merge Zamasu in the manga. If you guys never checked that out, go on ahead, as that's one of my favorite fight scenes in anime history, other than the Frieza vs Goku fight. This is when Goku would then showcase his full strength, and he would easily overpower Merge Zamasu, although he does have the immortality. In the anime version, he mutated and grew in size. The other version of Zamasu was just struggling to keep up at all. This is when Goku would then end it, as he would then fire a full power Kamehameha wave, completely incinerating Merge Zamasu. When Merge Zamasu was completely incinerated, he would still appear as Universal Zamasu. Zeno would still appear and destroy him just like the original, bringing Trunks to a twin timeline that is just a mirror of it. Once when the Z Fighters were brought back, this is where the Tournament of Power will begin. Now, the Tournament of Power would play out in some similarities. The only difference here is how would Goku fare against the most powerful person here. Vegeta would unlock Super Saiyan Blue Evolution by this point, and Raditz would even be able to unlock it as well. As since they're both rivals, once when Vegeta unlocks it first, Raditz would then unlock it next to help them fight Jiren. With two Super Saiyan Blue evolutions, a version of Gohan that is not weak, and if you guys remember, they did offer Gohan to go train. We'll get to that later. Gohan, even without Mystic, in Super Saiyan 2 either way, he kept his training up. This version of Gohan is much more stronger. He would be able to keep up and actually battle alongside them as well. With this being said, Goku in his Super Saiyan God state would battle Jiren. And in Super Saiyan God, he was actually able to keep up with Jiren and actually push him pretty hard. But Jiren was still holding back some of his power, as he's not in his full potential form yet. This is when Goku would charge up a Spirit Bomb, throw it at Jiren, and this is when Jiren, with much more difficulty, was able to push the Spirit Bomb back a hit against Goku. Goku would then go unconscious and fall into the Spirit Bomb. This is when Goku would then unlock Ultra Instinct for the first time, thus bringing the original full circle back. With Goku now having Ultra Instinct, his power would pretty much look the exact same, with him having the black hair and the silver eyes with the strange aura. Goku's Ultra Instinct wouldn't necessarily look any different, as that's a totally different form to a Saiyan power, and it would look really cool either way. But with Goku's adaptability and with how quickly he can soak in power, he was already quickly adapting to Ultra Instinct. Once when he was battling Jiren for the first time, this version of Goku was actually able to push Jiren over the edge and make Jiren actually go into his limit-breaking power. Once when Jiren would then attack Goku back, Goku would then drop out of the form and be knocked through several pillars. As then this is when Vegeta and the others would then tag team on Jiren since Jiren was exhausted, but Jiren was still able to hold his own against Vegeta, Raditz, Piccolo, Gohan, and the others. This is when Goku would then get back up, and he would then look at his hand, as Whis was shocked to see that Goku was instantly able to just tap back into Ultra Instinct that quickly. With the burst of Aura, he was already back in Ultra Instinct, and this would shock Whis, the fact that he already has that much control of it already. But he's not surprised, as with his potential and his Saiyan heritage, he can adapt so much quicker than Goku ever could. As he has millions of Saiyan potential and power within him, he would then battle Jiren and he would then overpower him. Goku would not go into Mastered Ultra Instinct, but even if he did and he got pushed to that limit, it would be overkill for Jiren, and Goku would actually not get the nasty side effect of it attacking him back. So either way, if Goku has UI or MUI, he would destroy Jiren in their match. Now right afterwards, we are going to cut towards the Broly movie. Now during the Broly arc, this is when Gohan and Piccolo would get their time to shine. Now Raditz would be around most likely, but I would definitely think that this is definitely when Piccolo and Gohan might get their time to shine. Now we know that in the original though, Vegeta and Goku fought Broly originally, but once when Raditz and the others would still show up, because remember, they would still be on planet Earth seeing what's happening, Raditz would not be hanging around with Piccolo. This is where I think that Gohan and the others would then show up, as Gohan is still training. Gohan, even in Super Saiyan 2, was able to keep up with Super Saiyan Blue level characters. This goes to show his power. Now once when Broly does start fighting everybody, Goku I don't think would step in, as he wants his son Gohan to continue to grow, as Goku doesn't want to be dependent on. Gohan would have a difficult time against Broly, but Goku notices how Broly is so similar to him going into his Akari state and his legendary Super Saiyan state. Now, since there is no fusion, or is there? Since the fact that Goku did go to the other world for all those years, Goku does know the fusion dance. He would then not use it because he doesn't need it. But this is a backup that Goku thinks in the back of his head. If Broly's potential continues rising like this, it might cause a problem. This is when Raditz, Vegeta, and Gohan would be overpowered by legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Goku would then step in and battle him as a legendary Super Saiyan 2, which would confuse Broly for a second, but Goku would start to overpower him. Going into Super Saiyan God, Broly would have no chance. But Goku was pushing Broly as he wants to see how strong he can become. This is when Broly would then go into his legendary state even more, growing way more powerful, but he was reaching his limit, as Goku would then showcase Ultra Instinct, which is complete overkill, as Broly would be easily defeated, as he can't waste time on him and he doesn't want to kill Broly. But Broly would be spared and he would actually stay on planet Earth, as it's a peaceful place. So Chi-Lai and them would never use the Dragon Balls. Bulma would then take them back, but Broly would then continue living off in the forest on his own in his own little capsule corp house with Chi-Lai and Lemmo. After this is when we're going to go into Superhero. And this is where I feel like Gohan and Piccolo would then finally get their time to shine. This is where two things are going to occur. Now we know that in the original, Han was taken just like before. Now this is when Gohan would then make a big change and he would actually use the Dragon Balls alongside Piccolo. Now whoa, hold on. What about Kami and Piccolo? Well, by this point, Kami would have already fused with Piccolo. Or you could say that Kami was still alive, he could have always wished to be younger. Which I feel like Kami would then wish to be younger, and he would then continue working on the Dragon Balls, making them stronger. As it is possible for Kami to do something like this. Since he needs to update them, the Dragon Balls do have more than one wish, just to clarify for everybody. So Piccolo would wish for his potential unlock, and Gohan would wish for the same. This is when Piccolo would then have his new orange form state. And I feel like Gohan, just for continuity purposes, I feel like he would still have a version of Potential Unleashed, or you can say that he does have a version of the Beast form, because Gohan was acting more human than he was Saiyan. So Gohan's form could be a mixture of his potential and him acting more human than Saiyan, thus activating the Beast form. And I know that this is completely inconsistent, but the Beast form was actually able to be unlocked by any race in Xenoverse 2. Which I know that doesn't have any accuracy to the what if, but just for fun, it just goes to show that the Beast form is just a power up for anything. So Gohan could use this form. Thus, when they do fight Cell Max, which by the way, I do want to point out, would there be a Cell Max? This is where the fun would then come in. The Red Ribbon Army would still be here, as the whole point would then be to try to make another monster. They would then try to recreate the monster that they made originally, but they can't do it to a T like before. But the monster was incomplete, so it is a version of that demonic Frieza form, but it's extremely early on in development, and it's really deformed and messed up, but it's still scary strong. But with Gohan and Piccolo's help, Gohan would then fire a special beam cannon with Piccolo helping, and they would be able to completely incinerate the creature. As this creature was so early on in development, it wasn't able to actually be developed to have the adaptability like the old one had. So it was still killed just like before, and Pan was saved, and by this point the Red Ribbon Army was completely wiped off the map. This was then, we're going to cut forward into the Mora arc. Now the only difference with the Mora arc is the fact that it's going to be really bad. With the Mora arc now going full circle, Mora would have no chance against these versions of these characters, considering the fact with how strong they are. On top of the fact of Goku's new god form, they would overpower Mora. On top of the fact that he has Ultra Instinct too, Mora would be defeated. Very similar. Goku was still trained with Beerus to push Ultra Instinct, easily going into Mastered, and even using TUI, being able to learn to control this power. This is when Goku would then go to battle Granola. But the issue is once when Granola would then wish to become the strongest being in the universe, he would age a lot like how Gas did, very quickly, and even faster. Since Goku was leagues stronger than he was before, this is when Granola would then quickly start aging as soon as he was fighting Goku and Vegeta, and once when Gas does show up, he would actually still be defeated. Now mind you, by the way, in this what if, Goku would never promise to wish Frieza back to life, as would Goku even bring Frieza? I think that he would bring him for the Tournament of Power just to be safe, but I definitely do not think that he would offer Frieza to bring him back to life. Now, Whis would have still told him that, oh, this is just a gift from Beerus. I don't think that would be the case, as Frieza would still be left there either way, or you could say that Frieza was left because of the fact that they had Raditz, who's such a big ally. But that's up for you guys to decide, but in my what if currently, Frieza was still brought to the Tournament of Power where he was very useful, but Goku never promised him to be brought back to life, so this was when Frieza was then sent back to Hell, just like before. Now with Frieza now sent back to Hell, this is where Black Frieza would never show up. Once when Gas does show up, he would then age twice as fast as Granola did, thus dying within a few minutes of the fight, and this is when Gas was then killed. Now that there is peace finally restored to the universe, one can only hope what is going to be happening next for our Z Fighters. And that is it for this series, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys truly enjoy this series. I had a blast making it. Thank you all so much for the support. You guys are the best in the whole world. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers. Let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite part of this what if so far. And look out for the community polls, because if you guys have made it this far, make sure to comment your favorite idea. And I also want you guys to like the comments and the ideas that you see. If you look at someone's idea and you like it, make sure to like it, so I can see which one you guys want the most, and I'll put it on a poll for the final vote. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's hit 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.